This is what I do. I help people overcome adversities, the BS that happens in life, right? So you've heard a lot of like getting motivated, being in the right mindset, your thoughts, your beliefs. Life happens. I help you get through that and keep going during it. We create the courage, the confidence, the clarity, I help you find your freedom. I found in 26 years of training clients, a lot of this weight and how we look on the outside really has to do with what's going on the inside. Okay, you get the inside right, the outside falls into place. It's really simple. I swear to God it is. All right, I skipped past that. Live alive. That's a big one for me. That's part of my story and part of my why. And you're gonna hear my story today for the first time. I'm actually sharing my one story, my fight story today for the first time. So thank you, Steve Popper. I've been doing this for a long time, and I share a bunch of stories. But today you're gonna hear the one, why I get so fired up and so passionate for what I do. And then I want you to experience your dreams. This is a dream of mine. I'm living in my dreams. I'm actually living the life that I actually want. I don't need a break from my life. I really love my life, even on the worst of worst days. And this year has sucked for me. Anybody else had a sucky year? Holy moly, just one thing after the other this year. It could be over very soon, all right? 135 days today. That's what we have left this year. How many of you are unfinished so far? You guys still got stuff to do this year. Everybody should be raising your hand. Come on. So that's what I do. I get you to surrender the old you. How many of you, and you don't have to raise your hand, I'm gonna be nice right now. How many of you are still holding on to the old you used to be? You wish you could go back to when? You're holding on to that. There's some crushed dream in there. Crushed dream is you got married and then you got divorced and you thought life was gonna be happily ever after and now it's not. I get you to question yourself now. Your current situation, where are you at? How complacent are you? Are you stuck? Are you settling? Are you fighting? Are you showing up for yourself? And then I want you to fight for your future you. I want to pull that life into this life here. That's what a transformation coach does. It doesn't happen overnight. I wish it did, but it doesn't. I get you to live that life now. Your legacy, do you really want to leave it behind, or do you want to live it now? You want to start enjoying your life now. Everybody wants to just blah. Yeah. No?
Yeah, come on.
Because life happens. Here we go. Y'all got life happens moments. I'm going to tell you a quick little story, but it's not the story. We're about to get to the story. So this is my family, and we are, you kind of see we're smiling. We're having a good time. We're in North Carolina. I've been going whitewater rafting. Anybody been whitewater rafting?
Oh, no.
Okay, it's lots of fun. It's awesome. And I tell you, this is not a great shot, but this looks way worse than the picture, okay? Way worse. But we were like, we got this. It's gonna be awesome, and we're all having a good time, and we're going on prepared for this. I've been doing this since I was a little kid. I was like my 4th or 5th time. I knew exactly what I was doing. Life was great. Boom. 2 seconds later. There's, right there is Dale, and I'm completely submerged. 2 seconds later, boom, you hit the rock, right? I'm gonna tell a different version of this story for those of you that heard it. But look what's protected. My family, my legacy, my loves, what's important to me, it's all protected. My future is all protected. So it doesn't matter what happened here. Clearly we made it out alive. We went down the river. We didn't resist life happening to us. He got out first, or got back into the boat first. I had to go a little bit further on down. Leave it to me. I was like way down here, and he's with the kids already back in the boat or something. You know, you keep your head up, your chest up, your feet up, right? You don't resist. You don't stand up, because if you stand up, you could drown, you could get hurt, you get stuck. So you gotta go when life takes you. And that's what happens, is we get stuck when life happens. You get stuck, right? Crap happens, relationship happens, money happens, insufficient money happens. No?
Oh yeah.
Careers that we don't like happen, relationships that we get stuck in happen. And we get stuck there. And then you resist it instead of just going with it and going through it, and you try to find so many different ways around it. There is not another way except through. You must go through it. So what story are you telling? Go ahead, take notes. You see, I got goodies for you on the table. I got Post-it notes. We're going to do an activity in a little bit. What story are you telling? The old one? A secret one that nobody knows about? Your current story? I can't remember which speaker said it, but I think it was Christine, that we start to adjust. This is it, as is. Like a foreclosed home. I'm pretty sure I was supposed to say that later in the speech, but I'm saying it now. You just accept yourself as is, beat up, worn out, crushed dreams, complacent, stuck. Are you? There is a new story waiting on you. It's going to shake you up, it's going to rock your world, but you got to be willing to step. You got to be willing to take a step. Now, I got a lot of messes and moments. That's why I'm a coach. Coaches, did you not know we have lots of scars and wounds and messes and mistakes? And we're coaches because, one, we're vulnerable and we're willing to go first and we're willing to lead, but we're willing to share all of our mistakes with you so you don't make them. You are not supposed to make the same mistakes we did. We figured it out for you, so you don't have to make the same mistakes. That's what having a coach is, to help you get from here to here without doing all of this stuff, right? So I got a bunch. I got a bunch. I could tell you about when I got a divorce. I could tell you about when I was in an abusive relationship. I could tell you about when I drove through Dunkin' Donuts and then I would take them home and eat them and watch Days of Our Lives and then go to the bathroom and purge. I could tell you about waking up to so many insufficient funds in my bank account when I started my own brick and mortar. I could tell you about getting evicted and living in my gym and being homeless for 6 months and sleeping on yoga mats with my 2 children in the playroom, sleeping head to toe in the same bed. Kept the gym, kept going, did it. I could tell you about being attacked by a Rottweiler, a Mexico moped accident, don't ask, hitchhiking. Woo, there's a bunch of stories and defining moments. Y'all got some of those? Yes. But that's not what I'm going to talk to you about. That's not my fight story. That's not why I get so passionate. Not angry. Not angry. Passionate. Passionate mean, why don't you wake up? Why don't you do something about it? Why are you not doing something about it? It infuriates me. Like, really, really infuriates me. Why? Why? Only you know the answer. Why you're not doing something. Why are you not listening to that urge inside? Doesn't it hurt? Isn't it painful? Like, it's right here. Like, if you don't do it and you don't act, it's right here. It hurts so bad. Those are not my fight stories. Steve asked me a long time ago, Robyn, write your damn book. Just pick a moment and write it. But Steve, I have so many moments. It took me 3 effing years later. Why? To figure out there was one. It really gets me fired up. And you'll never know by looking at me. So I'm going to tell you a story about sad eyes. I'm probably going to take a drink of water first. Sad eyes. But first, we're going to talk about how awesome I used to be. Because this is all about me and has nothing to do with you guys today. I'm glad you laughed. I say that all the time, don't I, ladies? This is all about me. It has nothing to do with you. So, this is about 8 years ago. CrossFitting at the gym for 4 hours, strong as hell, amazing, awesome, running marathons, great shape, was, at the beach after 2 kids, right? Just awesome, best shape of my life, doing some tough mudders. Don't go do a tough mudder, don't do mud races. Just amazing. Yes, that's how awake I want you to be.
Ice?
Right?
Oh.
It's submerged ice. No, you do not need to do cold water therapy all of the time, okay? But I suggest that it is fun for some exhilarating. I was good. I was in the best shape of my life. I had a good life. I had a really pretty house and a really pretty car, a really pretty package, but not from the inside. I was living some lies and some deceit and some betrayal, and I was not being authentic and I wasn't being alive. And you don't get that story today. You will have to buy the second book, Dancing with Tsunamis. That is my tell-all. That is the juicy stuff. So the best shape of my life until one day I couldn't put my foot down. I couldn't stand up. I couldn't get up. I couldn't walk. And everything changed. We had come home about 2 days later from doing the Tough Mudder. Just saying. Just saying. And I couldn't walk. I was like, I'm no baby. I am no baby. Y'all know what I'm talking about. High threshold of pain here?
Negative.
Okay? Some of you are babies. That's okay, I'm no baby. But when I couldn't get out of the car and walk, something was wrong. And by that night, something was really wrong. And I was like, I told my then husband at the time, I think I need to go to the emergency room. I need to go to the walking clinic. Something is not right. Looked fine. Didn't even have a swollen ankle. Didn't understand it. So I went. When I was there, I passed out, whatever. They decided to take me in an ambulance, cross the street to the hospital. Guess they wanted to bill my insurance a little bit more money. You know, it was just a rolled ankle from the Tough Mudder, maybe. So they pumped me full of steroids and gave me some morphine, and they sent me home and said, go to an orthopedic. And I went to the orthopedic the next day, and they put me in an ankle boot, and they said, go to the PT. So I went to the PT, and he was like, I don't really see anything wrong with your ankle, but, you know, we'll work it. We'll do the PT. So we did that. And this went on for about 2 weeks. I got released from PT. And there were days where it was good and I could kind of walk, but there were days when I could not walk. And the pain was really bad, but I wasn't sweating, I didn't have fever, I didn't have chills, my arm wasn't falling off, I didn't have a bleeding leg. I looked like this, except better because I was in the best shape of my life. So, in a span of about 6 weeks, I took 3 ambulance rides to the hospital in severe excruciating pain. One night, so much pain, I went in a green t-shirt and red underwear, and I remember thinking, oh my God, I look like a Christmas present. We didn't even put pants on me. I was in that much pain.
Oh.
It was bad. I couldn't walk. I couldn't put on my shoes or socks. I couldn't bend over. I couldn't put on my pants. I couldn't put on my underwear. I couldn't go to the bathroom by myself. It was really humiliating. I couldn't roll out of bed, in bed. I couldn't sit up. I couldn't stand. I couldn't. I just couldn't. I went from working out 4 hours a day and doing marathons and lifting barbells above my head and holding both my kids on my hips to I can't do anything. Crawling on my hands and knees on the hardwood floor in my house. Hard, like real hardwood. I couldn't do anything, but I looked fine. Get up! Get up! Just get up! There's nothing wrong with you. Get up. What's wrong with you? Get up. My father-in-law had been visiting my ex-husband. That's what they were saying to me. That's all I hear in my head is get up. It took me 15 minutes, and that's not an exaggeration, to get from my bedroom about where Steve is to my kitchen. It was a nice house, but it wasn't that big. 15 minutes to crawl and to hold myself and get up the wall and shimmy down to the kitchen so I could get to my frosted mini wheats and orange juice, because that's what I was living on at the time. It hurt so bad. The pain was eating me alive from the inside out, and they just wanted me to get up. Don't you think I would get up if I could get up? If I could get up and walk, I would get up and walk. I would get up and move. I would take a step. I couldn't get up. There's something wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with you. Get up. Don't be a baby. Quit milking it. Get the F up. Laughing at me, joking at me, downplaying it. I look normal. There's nothing wrong with you. Get up. Doctor sending me home. I went to a neurologist. I went to orthopedics. I went to general doctors. Blood work. I stayed for a week in the hospital. They admitted me to try to figure it out. Oh, you got the rhabdo, the CrossFit disease. You work out too much. Oh, it's your hormones. Go put your feet in hot water. Take this pill, take that pill. Morphine, steroids, again and again and again. They just kept pumping me full of drugs and sending me on my way and telling me it was in my head. I was fighting for my life, and I didn't know it. What the hell's wrong with me? I was fine. Literally, my legs, my hips, I couldn't sleep. There were nights where I had a walker, and I literally held onto the walker in like 2 pairs of yoga pants because I thought the compression of them would help take the pain away. And I would try to stand there and sleep standing up because I couldn't sleep. The pain was so bad. I'd try to put a tennis ball where it hurt because it hurt in my back and it hurt in my hips. And that would work for a little bit. And then one night, I was in so much pain, I decided to go crawl out of bed and roll out of bed and go get in the tub and fill it up with hot water. That gave me relief. One of those jacuzzi tubs, right? The big ones that you got to climb into it. So I filled that sucker up and it was like 3 o'clock in the morning. I got in there. I mean, everybody get in the jacuzzi tub and you get in there so hot like it burns your skin and you're like bright red. I take showers like that every night. I love it. Maybe it reminds me on some level of that. And I got in there, and then when you get out and you're kind of lightheaded, you're discombobulated, and it's 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and I was able to crawl out, all the energy that I had, and roll out onto the bathroom floor. Cold tile floor, and I laid there naked with my face on the floor, crying quietly, like the ugly cry. You know what I'm talking about? Where you're crying so hard and just nothing's coming out, but you're crying, it's there. And I silently did that until he woke up. And he found me on the floor, probably at the time that he had to go to work. Why didn't you wake me up? I don't remember. In my head now, when I tell the story, I think, one, I probably couldn't. But 2, I feel like I was punishing myself. Because remember, I was living a lie. I wasn't being honest with myself and with my family. Certainly wasn't being honest with God. I didn't even really believe in him at that point. So I felt like at some level that if I just laid there on that floor naked, crying, cold, wet, in pain, just settle in it and suffer in it and stay here. I'll be fine. I got used to it after 6 or 7 weeks of it. People telling me there's nothing wrong with me. It's all in your head. It wasn't long after that it was just so bad. I called a 9th doctor. 9 doctors I had been to, 1 hospital stay, a whole week, a PT, who I'm not talking about today, but he is one of the ones that saved my life. So listen to your physical therapist. I called the 9th doctor, and she was a woman that had given me a steroid shot, to go run the marathon, because you shouldn't do that. But I was like, I'm running the marathon, so jack me up, whatever I got to do to get it done. That's us crazy athletes, and we're into fitness. We gotta make it happen no matter what. It was my dad's birthday. It was December 9th, and I called her, and she's like, oh yeah, I can see you tomorrow. But I'm about 30 miles away in Fayetteville. I was living in Atlanta at the time. So you're gonna have to drive, and I'm at the hospital. I'm not in my normal office, which was like, 2 minutes from my house. I was in that much pain, I was like, I'd do it. And then y'all know me, I don't go outside 5 miles of my radius. All right? So when my ex-husband got home, I said, we going to the doctor tomorrow, and I think I need to pack a bag. I don't think I'm coming home. So the next day we drove to the hospital, and she took one look at me and she said, you're not going home until we figure out what's wrong with you. 9 doctors before one actually paid attention to me. I was fighting and advocating for myself until somebody actually listened to me and saw through me. And it didn't stop there. So, made it to the hospital. Again, more tests, more blood work, and I'm talking CT scans, x-rays, ultrasounds, again, without contrast, more MRIs, another, I don't know, you name it, I went through it. And if anybody in here has ever dealt with a medical illness, or you know what I'm talking about, test after test after test, you live and breathe it, waiting and hoping that they just find something you're not crazy. There's something wrong with you. You don't want anything to be wrong with you, but it would be nice to know if there is so that we can figure it out and we can fix it. We just need to fix it. Everybody just wants to fix it. So, I was there in the hospital all by myself because remember, we got 2 little kids and we live in Atlanta and there is nobody around to help us. My mom is in Florida and she was coming back and forth to try to help, and then my ex is providing, so he's at work and he's trying to figure that out. So I'm in the hospital by myself, fighting again for myself. We're gonna figure this out. Oh yeah, okay, whatever. You're just, sarcastic, condescending, you lose your hope. It's kind of hard. And then when you don't have faith, they're never gonna figure it out. So they took me to another ultrasound room and they gelled me up with all that nasty stuff. And she started doing my leg and my groin and my hips and everywhere, and I'm rolling my eyes at her and probably being a total you-know-what because I'm tired of all these tests. And she says, okay, clean yourself up and I'll be right back. And they're gonna wheel me around. And that's when he came in the room. He had like Rob Lowe hair. I love you, baby. But he had like, you know what I'm talking about? He had like that sexy movie star hair. And he was like old enough to be my dad, but you know, he was a good looking doctor and he had like that beard thing going on, but not a full beard. And I made eye contact with him. Not that way though. And he had the saddest eyes. And they locked with mine. And I knew. I knew. All that fighting, all that advocating, all that uncertainty, all that unknowing, all that get up, get up, get up, get up, get up. He knew what was wrong with me. And he walked over to me and he put his hand on mine. And he said, we found a mass. It's an abscess and it's growing and it's getting bigger and bigger and it's in your hip and it's in your legs and it's in your spine. And it's moving. And we got to get it out of you because it's going to your brain and you will be paralyzed or you will be dead in a few hours. 9 doctors. Lots and lots of tests. Human error missed that my white blood cell count was more than 38,000, through the roof. Human error. But because I'm stubborn, I kept fighting for myself. I'll never forget his eyes. He knew immediately what was wrong with me. And so he said, the good news is that the best spine surgeon is on call today. The best one in Atlanta, in Georgia, is here today, right now. And he wasn't supposed to be. Somebody else was supposed to be here today. So we're gonna go do this right now here. Sign this clipboard. Sign your life away. I actually asked for a second opinion. I did. I said, I have babies at home. They're little, they were 3 and 5 at the time. He said, yeah, there's no time for a second opinion. So I signed my life away. I could die, I could be paralyzed. That's that. But the other choice was die or be paralyzed. Die or be paralyzed, die or be paralyzed. Die or be paralyzed, die or be paralyzed. There is no in between. So I signed the papers. And there were 7 white coats within less than 30 minutes all around me because it just happened to be a really rare infection. It was not common in someone like me. It was not something they had seen, only in textbooks and read about. And they actually told me that before going into surgery, and I remember this. Yeah, let's sign our life away, die or be paralyzed. Oh, and by the way, you're a science project, and all these doctors are going to learn along the way with you. Okay, you worked out. I'm here. You count down from 10. You know, you count down from 10 and it's like 10, 9, boom, you're out, right? And then you just pray to God you wake up. Most people stop there. I'm going to tell you a little bit more, but I'm going to save it for something. I want to show you something that we've put together because you don't have to let it stop you, your pain, even if nobody can see it. Your fight and your struggle is mostly with yourself. So I've used mine. This is my fight story. I've used it to help myself move forward and to live alive and to be relentless, but really to help others. I don't want you to stay settled. I don't want you to accept life as is. I want you to be able to fight and advocate for yourself. you got to have something pulling you. So, you got a story right now. I want you to think about it while you're watching this, okay? This is what I do. And I gotta move because I can't. I just can't. So if you feel it, feel it.
You gotta die to change. In the morning you gon' need an answer. Ain't nobody gonna change the standard. It's not enough to just feel the flame. You gotta throw your old self away. Hold on tight a little longer. Don't give in, get stronger. Get back up, 'cause it's a formula. You can't change without a formula. It's gonna hurt, but don't slow down. Get back up, 'cause it's a formula.
There's gotta be something going on right now, guys. Something in your life. I want you thinking about your story. Come on, where are you stuck at? What are you willing to fight for? What are you willing to wake up for?
Hold on tight a little longer. Don't give in, get stronger. Get back up, 'cause it's a formula. You can't change without a formula.
Come on. If you stuck and you're on the ground, you're in the middle of a valley, something right now that's just gonna grow you, propel you into your future. But you gotta be willing to fight.
When the wolves come and hunt me down, I will face them all and stand my ground. 'Cause there's a fire burning deep. Let me see my strength in this love I've found. Whoa, hold on tight a little longer. Don't give in, get stronger. Get back up, 'cause it's a formula. You can't change without a formula. It's gonna hurt, but don't slow down. Get back up, 'cause it's a formula.
Come on. I know you're thinking about something right now going on in your life, whatever you're fighting, whatever you're going through. That's how I want people to fight for it. You gotta be willing to sweat, grind, put some grit in it, have some grace with yourself. You gotta be willing to go through it, pick yourself up. Ain't nobody else gonna do it for you. Nobody's coming for you. Ain't nobody gonna care like you care. You gotta be willing to go when you can't see, when you don't feel like it, when you don't want to, when you're sick, when you're hurt, when you're in pain, when you're crying, when you're heartbroken, when you're broke. Life is completely bankrupt. You unleash that, you find your freedom. You start living.
Badass, stronger, powerful, determined, unstoppable, I feel empowered, enough, capable, healthy, proud, refreshed, confident, resilient, can take on the world, relentless.
1, 2, 3, Something like that video was something I wanted to do 4 years ago. And it took something like this for me to put together some memories and moments in my life because of other people. Because of my pain, I've been able to help other people through their pain. And it's not perfect. Life's still kind of, up and down, and some days it sucks. I told you already, my life this year has been hard. More medical issues, one right after the other. And I stand here today, but I'm in pain. So they took out, everybody go feel your back here. Like I say, this is a sexy line down your back. You know what I'm talking about? It's a sexy line down your back. So feel those little dinosaur pieces is what I call them. They took those out. Down here, so where y'all are sitting, they had to take it. It just ate it away. It ate it. It was in my blood, it was in my muscle, my tissue, my bones. They had to just cut it out and take it. So when I woke up, I was awake, I was alive, I wasn't paralyzed, but my legs didn't work right. Had to learn how to walk again. And the first thing they made me do after surgery is what? Take a step. Just one. Worst step of my life. My mother was down the hall getting coffee and she heard me scream. It was a blood-curdling down the hall scream. Just one step. I had 3 huge tubes coming out of my body to drain the rest of the infection that they couldn't get all. And then, we gotta do medicine now because it's an infectious disease and we're not sure how to treat it. More uncertainty, more unknown. So we're going to put a PICC line in your arm now to your heart and we're gonna feed you these drugs that may or may not work, and you need to do this for the next 3 months, twice a day, and we're going to teach you how to do it yourself. You're going to have to administer it yourself. What? I just went through emergency surgery and 6-7 weeks of fighting, and now I got to take care of my own damn self again? Yep. Okay, that's what we got to do, that's what we got to do. Had to go to PT, had to learn how to walk again. I was the one at PT doing one more. I was the one at PT asking for more, begging for more, while other people didn't want to go to PT and they didn't want to do what they had to do at physical therapy. I was in there begging and pleading and asking for more. I had to loop around my neighborhood. What, a 5-minute walk? Hour and a half. I went around in my little walker. This was probably a good 6 weeks after learning how to walk again. Oh, you're gonna have all these problems. You can't ride roller coasters, horses, or bicycles. We have found that I can ride a roller coaster one time. After that, I cannot ride again. I test the waters, I break the rules. I find a way. It's just not worth it. Lifting a barbell above your head, gone, taken from you. Not so much. Boxing, no more, gone. I used to box. So now we shadow box. And you're gonna have problems sitting and you're gonna have problems standing. You're gonna get stuck in place a lot. We go to the movies, I sit on the couch. Our first date. You know how hard it was for me to try to hide it because I get stuck. Days of wearing high heels, that didn't really exist anymore, but I get stuck in place. My hips don't align right. Sleeping in bed, current day, this side, sometimes this side, sometimes. No, it hurts both sides. One hip's higher, one hip's lower. This leg here is pretty much dead. It's about 70%, a little more, somewhere between 70 and 80% dead. So it feels like it weighs about 400 pounds. I call it Eeyore. It's Eeyore. It does not want to do stuff. Except when I lay down in bed at night, it decides it doesn't want to go to sleep. Anybody ever had like restless leg type thing? So that is on all the time with me as soon as it's time to go to bed. I'm fine until. But this is Eeyore. This leg is like Tigger, and he is like, let's go, we can do stuff all day long. This leg does not. So I have to try to get them to go together. So every time I run, every time I squat, every time I do a booty class, every time I do anything physical, I'm reminded of what it was like to be dying, dead, or paralyzed in my head. That if I didn't fight for myself, if I didn't wake something up inside of me, and I believe God came to me in that hotel, God came to me in that hospital room to wake me up from the life I had been living. And you don't get to hear that story today, but it was not a pretty one. I believe he came before I was saved. He was on me. He had already picked me out. I was just fighting him. It wouldn't be 2 more years before I was actually saved. So I live with chronic pain. I know what it's like to be in pain and nobody sees it. I look perfectly imperfect, pretty normal. And I've been on stage in a bikini and I've done shows, and I've rocked it on the beach with my kids, and I've gained 20 pounds as a fitness instructor too. It's life, it happens, and I like wine and M&Ms, okay? I mean, we keep it real. But what I found, I gotta do it again. I wanna get you fired up. It's got to come from within. You got to have something pulling you. You have to know what your future is, and it doesn't mean like you got to go figure it out today. I mean, if you listen to what Christine said, and she's trying to help you figure it all out and step into that purpose, but you got to want more than where you're at right now, even if you're kicking ass and taking names, even if life is good, relationship is good, bank account is good, health is good, nutrition is good, check, 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 happiness good. I think you're lying, or you wouldn't be here today. You're wanting something, seeking something, and I want to get you fired up. So we ready to get fired up? Yes? Because if I can do this, you can do this. I'm no different. I'm not. I'm really not. And now I gotta make you think. So we're gonna think now. All right? So I want you to think. Why are you here today? And I know you're like, oh my God, we already did questions with Steve and Christine. Well, guess what? You're going to do them again with me, but now with a fighter mentality, a warrior mentality, I got this mentality. Can we say that? I got this.
I got this.
You guys suck. You don't got nothing with that. My 11-year-old son, when we drive to Taekwondo, every time he goes to test for a next belt, I got this, I got this, I got this. As we get closer and closer, we live 2 minutes from the Taekwondo studio, so it's not a long time that I make him do this. I got this, I got this, I got this. Right before he gets out the door and slams it to go inside and turns around and says, I love you, Mom, he says, I got this. Anybody? What are you doing here today? What are you desiring? What are you lacking? What is missing? Where's the fighter in you? Is anybody think there's a fighter in you? Raise your hand.
Oh yeah.
I got this.
Thank you, Tom. And you know what? If it's dormant, we're going to wake it the you know what up today. Points, I did not curse. Where are your priorities aligned? My people know me. I'm not in my garage right now. Where are your priorities aligned? Remember in the beginning we talked about, guys, y'all got me first thing in the morning tomorrow. We're going to do the how-tos tomorrow. Today we just thinking, and I got lots of time left, and I use it all. Where are your priorities aligned? With your old self? You're used to your crushed dreams? I promise I wasn't going to talk about all my other stories and moments and keep it on my fight story, Steve. So my old self would be, I can't do this anymore. It hurts too bad. I'm just going to sit on the couch. Wait, sitting on the couch hurts too. I'm damned if I do. I'm damned if I don't. Where are you aligned? Where are your priorities aligned? With your future, where you're going, where you're at right now? Are you adjusting? Are you complacent? Are you settled? Are you stuck? Are you has been? And then here we go. What's the cost of your inaction? What's it costing you? Y'all are like, oh my God, it's $3,000 to coach with one of us. No, it's actually a whole lot more than that. We do this, I do this, because I know it works and it helps people. If you don't pay, you don't pay attention. If you don't pay, you don't actually do it.
Right.
You don't. I have done $99 deals, drug deals, $47 deals, freebie deals. Guess what happens? Nothing. They stay stuck. No more drug deals. This is only because once Steve, yes, this is our business. It's how we put food on the table. But to keep it real with you guys, we want it to work because we know it works. We've already been there. We've already done all the damage for you. You don't have to do the damage to yourself. What is the cost of your inaction? What's it costing you to not do something about it? Are you in enough pain yet? I don't take pain medication until I'm in so much pain I have to. And then I gotta suffer for another 30 minutes to an hour before it kicks in. Because I don't want to take it. What are you willing to suffer for? How much pain are you in? Is your business, relationship, your physical health, whatever, your nutrition, your sleep, whatever it is for you, your relationships, whatever it is for you, is it painful enough for you to do something about it? Oh, somebody said, Are you tired of almost? That one sucks. I feel like that this year. It's almost coming together. Anybody else feel like it's almost there? I'm almost there. I can taste it. But then something happens. Life happens again. What's your line in the sand? That's mine. Sorry, I forgot to tell you guys. Some of y'all might think these are gross pictures, but you know. That's just an old, really old, bad picture of I didn't take many pictures back then of it. It wasn't something I was thinking about. I had no idea at that time in my life God was going to use that story to help people. I wasn't taking photographs. But this is my line in the sand. This is why I get so angry and passionate and fired up for people when they don't do anything about it. When they can, you have a choice. I didn't have a choice. What are you trying to fill? What's the emptiness? What are you escaping? Some of us escape into workouts. Some of us are escaping into workaholics. Some of us are in complete denial and you're avoiding. What is that emptiness? What is the fear? What is the grief? I'm going to go through these fast because you've already kind of thought about some of that this morning. What's your secret? What are you lacking? And I know I might get yelled at by some of the other coaches. Fear is a BS one. It ain't fear. What is the pressure that you're putting on yourself? What's the weight that you're carrying on the inside? Your unbelief. What do you don't believe? In what? In yourself? It can happen for everybody else, but not for you. She gets love. She gets a great leading. It's a great business. She gets to make a bunch of money and have a great life and a great family, but not Justin. Justin has to live a crappy life because he doesn't believe. He believes everybody else can have it. I'm picking on them. Right? Does anybody else? You think it can happen for everybody else, but not you. God takes care of everybody else, but not you. You're not that special. I tell that to my clients all the time. You're not so special that your problem is so unique that God can't fix it. That he's not working on it. That he's not already got it figured out. You're just in your own damn way and you're in God's. Step aside and let him do his job. Surrender it. First thing, surrender your old life. The machete mentality. This is a big one. Your time tax. You're already paying. You're already paying for what you're not doing. I hear there's somebody in this room that quit their job not too long ago, and she's here today. I'm not going to call on her because I haven't officially met her yet, but heck yeah. Who else is willing to quit their job? I did, to go start a dream in a business. Who else has been there and done that? Heck yeah, it's scary as you know what. You're going to be just fine. All right? What's your time tax? What are you losing by not acting, by not having a coach, by not having a guide, by not having a culture, by not having a community, by not having a future that you can live in the now? What are you willing to do to fight for it? That was me. PICC line in my arm twice a day, feeding myself drugs that made me feel 10 times worse than before when I was fighting for it and I couldn't walk. What has to happen for you to start showing up? Think about that one for a second. I need a drink.
I need a drink too.
I'm human. I ain't some like Wonder Woman. I mean, I am, but I'm thirsty as hell. I told you I keep it real and y'all gave me permission. And tomorrow morning, whoo, I'm dropping it. What has to happen for you to show up? What? That? Do you need a doctor to tell you you're going to die or be paralyzed? Do you need death? Do you need grief? Do you need pain? Do you have to wait for it to get that bad? You just want the dream to die inside of you? Steve talked about it this morning. You want it to die in you, that you don't want to move forward with it, that you want to experience it now? I am your example of what Steve was talking about. You've got to get it out of you. What has to happen for you to show up so you can start feeling the intensity, the urgency that I feel, that energy to be renewed, to feel alive, to get to wake up excited? Who was wake up excited to come here today? Because I was nervous as hell, but excited too. It's the same damn thing, so choose excited, right?
Yes.
Who goes to bed at night in dread? You don't have to raise your hand. I'm not a pastor. I ain't calling you out in church. There's some of you that go to bed in dread. You don't want the morning to come because you're dreading Monday. You're dreading going to work. You're dreading what you got to do because you don't care. There's no purpose behind it. There's nothing. You have, what's it going to take to feel that desire? What would that feel like to have congruency, alignment with your future, with what you see, with what you feel inside? How awesome would that be to actually live with that every single day? To know how to have patience through all of the phases in your life, to actually understand, okay, I'm here, it's temporary, I'm not going to be here forever, it kind of sucks right now, but I've got high hopes and I've got a faith and I've got fortitude and I'm going to keep working towards it so that I can get to the next step. And then I'm going to keep showing up through the ugly, and then I'm going to get to the next step. And I'm going to endure it. I'm going to go through it. I'm going to go down the rapids with the whitewater. I'm not going to try to stand up in the middle of a storm. A lot of us need to get decisive, intentional, unrelenting. I do not quit. Ask Dale. I do not give up. I find a way. You say that can't be done, I will find a way. I was raised with duct tape and zip ties. Okay, that's where my grandpa taught me. It's in my blood. We find a way. Machete mentality. Every day, I got a new experience and a new story to tell. I get to help people for a living experience that. And it's fun and it's awesome and I love my job. It's awesome. It really is. Don't you want that for your life? I don't have everything I want. I'm in process. I'm in process. I'm not there yet. I'm better than sleeping on the gym floor. I'm better than the walker in my neighborhood. I'm better than with the PICC line in my arm. I'm better even with the gait, even getting stuck in place, even standing up out of the movies and having to limp for a second or two. It goes away after a few. You know, I do a limp. Some of y'all may see it sometimes, some of you not, but then it gets better and I hear my PT in my head going, all right. It is this good. I had to show the Easter egg one again. I'm showing off my kids from so many years ago. It's that good when you live a life you don't need a break from, when you're developing your dreams, when you're overcoming your adversities, when you're living in courage, when you're doing it anyways, when you're facing your giants, when you're living relentless. It's that good. But seriously, come on. Y'all want to give me some excuses? Because then I'm going to show you that. Give me an excuse, and I'll show you that. And I'll show you that, because that's what I did with mine. Y'all got some excuses? No, this is my story. I'm not saying that. I used to even dumb mine down because, you know what? I got to keep my leg. I got to keep it. I get pissed off at Eeyore a lot. A lot. But I got to keep it, so it looks pretty. You know what? I actually appreciate it now because it's strong. I used to hate my legs. I didn't like the way they looked. Now I love them, even when they don't work. But I got to keep it. I didn't lose a limb, so somebody that lost a limb, their story's way worse, right? No, it's your story, it's your pain, it's your trauma, it's your healing or not, it's your choice, it's yours. It's different from mine. But you gotta be willing to stop the excuses because that's what I hear and that's what I tell my clients, blah, 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 blah. I don't wanna hear it. An excuse is just a reason and a lie you tell yourself to get out of doing something. That's all it is. It's a reason to stay stuck where you don't want to be. Insert any area of your life. Woo, so we're going to interact. All right, so I gave you guys some Post-it notes. Hence my third book, The Post-it Promise. I'm doing this, Leanne. We doing this, girl. All right, y'all got to give it November 8th, Leanne's, I'm going to pitch your book for you. There you go. November 8th, Leanne's book comes out. So we're going to have a book party for that. But I'm sure she's going to tell you all about it when she gets to get up here and talk. She's one of our sponsors. Y'all go get her cookies. So get your Post-it notes out and your Sharpie. Do not take them home or put them in your purse. I will come hunt you down. Unless you join my inner circle, then you can bring them to our next inner circle meeting, okay? We have a crazy good time. Broken promises. Y'all know what those are? You ever break a promise to somebody? Don't you feel like a piece of you know what? You know what I'm talking about. You feel so bad when you break a promise to somebody. You feel guilt, almost shame. It's embarrassing. Do you lie to get out of it, an excuse? You broke the promise. Yeah, All right, here's where we're going to interact. You might need to write down a couple. But whatever you do, okay, you're going to write it down twice because you're going to take one home and we're going to do something with the other one, okay? But these are not broken promises with other people. These are broken promises with yourself. So don't take a very long time. It's probably in your head right now. Write it down. Cover your notes so nobody sees it. Write it down right now and then crumble it up. What's your broken promise? Write down and crumble it up. Like whatever promise you keep breaking yourself. You say you're going to do this and then write it down and crumble it up. Don't throw it. And then just set it down. If you got 2 or 3 of them, write them down. Take a second and I'm going to drink some more water. I'm getting my steps in up here too. What's a promise you keep breaking to yourself? Over and over and over again. You don't even need to think about it. Write it down, hide it, crumble it up, and then put it on the table. And then remember, write it again, and you're gonna keep it, you're gonna take it home for yourself, okay? Maybe. You know what, no, scratch that, I'm changing my mind, I do this a lot, all right? Don't worry about writing it down twice. I make stuff up all the time. Don't I, Dalen? Yes, I do. I had somebody be like, I trained with this coach once, and I'm just telling a filler story while y'all writing your broken promises down. I trained with this coach once, and she just kind of makes stuff up as she goes along. I'm like, you might want to go somewhere else down the street because I do the same damn thing. A good trainer should be able to like think on their feet and help you and coach you right in the middle of a mess. Right in the middle of catastrophe, drama, chaos, mess, unorganization. A good coach will be able to, right there, wake your ass up and get you going and moving in a different direction, faster, with urgency, and with patience. And we're going to talk all about that tomorrow. I'm so excited. I'm going to leave y'all with cliffhangers. So do we got some promises down? Yes? Did everybody write down at least one broken promise? You keep breaking it, okay? Yes? All right, Steve, close your eyes. Ryan, close your, no, I'm teasing. You don't have to, but we're about to make a mess. Don't worry, I'll clean it up at the break. All right? Throw it as far as you can, like around people. Throw it at people. Don't hit anybody in the eye. Throw it. Get rid of it. Throw it. Yeah, you get to throw it. Get rid of it. Throw it. Get it far away from you. So, all right, throw it. Somewhere else. Throw it. Throw it. There you go. Woo. Come on, throw it at each other. You got any more to write down? All right? Throw them away. Whew. All right, now you got to get up and find a piece of paper. Don't open it yet. Come on, out of your seats. Let's go, let's go. Wake up, wake up. I got 16 minutes. Come on, +3, because I always add, don't yell down on me, Steve. Let's go, let's go. Pick up a piece of paper. Come on your feet. Pick up one, pick up two, and then sit back down when you got one. I got some over here. Come on, pick them up. Come on, pick them up, pick them up. Yeah, right? Don't pick up your own. Don't pick up your own when you got one. Anybody else need some more? I got some over here. You got one, Leanne? Anybody need one? There you go, come on. Everybody got one that doesn't belong to you. Please, dear Jesus, don't read your own out loud. Okay. Anybody need one? I'm gonna read, you need one, Daniel? Oh, that was mine. Because I don't break my promises to myself anymore. I'm lying. I break a promise at least once a day. Human. All right, so we got them? Okay, so everybody's got a piece of paper. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. Randomly, hopefully not in total chaos, we're gonna open them up, okay? And let's start over here on this side of the room, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna read it out loud. If it, I'm calling on you to be bold, brave, and badass right here. If it resonates with you in some manner, you will stand up. Doesn't mean it's yours, doesn't mean you wrote it. Maybe it's not even current, maybe it's an old broken promise, okay? You hear me? This is your moment right here to start fighting for yourself. Because you're gonna have to face your giants. You can't keep that shit inside. It's so unhealthy. I'd rather see you eat a whole dozen Dunkin' Donuts, okay? Because we can figure out what you need to do to fix that. But if you keep this stifled inside. So let's go. Daniel's gonna go first. I'm gonna pick on him. So listen, again, we're gonna do this. We're gonna start reading them off. When you hear one that resonates, and I'll repeat in case you can't. There you go. We're gonna stand up if it resonates with you. Go for it.
Becoming organized.
Becoming organized. Stand up if that resonates with you. All right, next one. Read another one. Just start reading them out loud. You don't have to.
No, Mike, go ahead.
Yeah, go. Quick.
Client reach outs.
Client reach outs. Stay standing. Y'all asses don't get to sit. Stay standing. Nice try. You've been. This is the slump. All right, so we're not organized and we're not reaching out to clients. Okay? Read another one. Go for it.
Saying yes to me.
Saying yes to me. You're not breaking, so you're not saying yes to yourself. Who is not saying yes to yourself? Stand up. Okay? Let's go read another one. Somebody else read. Go. Good diet. You got a crappy diet. Who keeps breaking? Remember, these are broken promises. No, you can stay standing up. Even if it doesn't, I know y'all got a good diet. Go ahead, stand up. Y'all look at him, he got a good diet, all right? I'm gonna pick on him. Let's read it. Leanne, read one. Relearn piano. Well, that's a good one. That's okay. How about relearn a musical instrument? Something. Stand up if it resonates with you. Read one. Go.
Work out.
Work out. Who keeps breaking promises about working out? Stand up. All right, let's go. Is everybody standing in the room yet?
It says build a great nonprofit.
Wait, what?
Build a great nonprofit.
So you're not building a nonprofit, meaning you're not doing the thing, something in your heart. Bob, you're not standing yet. Read one.
Bad thoughts.
Bad thoughts. Anybody else? There you go. Come on, stand up. We gotta get everybody in the room standing. All of us are breaking promises to ourselves on some level. You're not alone. What are we doing? We found this morning this whole group right here is a community, but we're not even being honest. We're not even telling our story, because why? You can sit. You're welcome. We could do push-ups, but I am not dressed for that. Okay? Why do we keep breaking promises to ourselves? All right? Why? Why? I did it because I thought I deserved to be punished. I deserved to be on the bathroom floor by myself crying, totally naked in pain, wet, shivering. I deserved to be there. I mean, I was living a lie. Doesn't it always catch up with you? I had to almost die, but I did. I'm not that person anymore. She died in that hospital. She did not come back. She did not come back automatically, magically, perfect, showing up, believing, faithful, telling the truth, honest. No, it took a long time, and I'll talk about it tomorrow. I didn't get to say goodbye to her. I grieve her. I miss her. She just left. Sometimes I still fight for her. And then I remember, no, that's an old story. This me is much better. And she's not even where she needs to be yet, but she's in the process. And being in the process, there's a lot of broken promises in the process. And when we're not in alignment with where we want to go and what we want to do, and we're stifling that, and we're settling it, and we're second best, and we're in the shadows, it's really hard to start showing up for our future self. That's why I call it an experience. Because you get to experience a new life. It's not some systematic, check this box, check this box. In fact, I yell at my clients when they're like, check. I'm like, what the f are you doing? I almost dropped it, but I saved it. I took that baby aside. Come on, I got $1 in the cookie jar. Woo! By the way, there are 4 variations of the F-bomb in my book. Yes. All right. We're battling something inside of us, but there is a fighter in there. There's more in there. There's a badass in there. I don't care if you're male or female, married or single, got a business or don't have a business, have a dream or don't have a dream. You may be okay being a stay-at-home parent. That's awesome. That is a freaking job. That's all I've ever done so that I could be with my kids. Do you think I was going to walk away from them after I almost died? So we got fight work tonight. Who's going to do some fight work with me? Yeah, baby. Not only are you all going to go home and walk, because you're going to be like, shit, she's going to be on me in the morning if I don't exercise. But we're going to do some fight work, not homework. I came up with that. Don't y'all love that? Because I tell my ladies all the time, did you do your homework? This is a fight, man. We got to fight for this. But this is a good one. We're going to do some promise keepers. So we just threw our broken promise away, right? Threw it, it's gone. Tonight, write a new promise on your Post-it note. In fact, I'll be so nice and trusting. I'm going to let you take your Post-it notes home. You are welcome. Merry Christmas. Take it home and bring it back in the morning, your promise keepers. What promise do you want to keep for the next 135 days? Not for the rest of your life, okay? I don't want to coach you forever. Believe it or not. Our job is not to keep you under our wings. It is to give you them. So go home tonight and write one promise that you will do in the next 4 months. December 31st rolls around and your ass doesn't need a New Year's resolution because you do it now. You do it now. What would that feel like to get it done now? You can. it takes 90 days. No, curse word, curse word, curse word. We're going to do it in 30. Okay? Because it's going to take about as long as you give it.
Yeah.
If you give it 90 days, it's going to take you 89. I'm here to bring urgency to your life, intensity to your life, to fight for it. I said it once, see, and it keeps wanting to come out of me. What is your promise? Just for 135 days. December 31st, New Year's Eve, you are rocking it if you can stay awake till midnight, because God, that is a job at this age. Anybody else? And we don't even care about watching the ball drop, okay? What would that feel like? Oh my God. I hate New Year's resolutions. Gym people hate New Year's resolution people. We hate January. Go home, right? Go the F home. You're going to be home in 3 days anyways. Seriously, go home. Go be with Eeyore, okay? Stop that. Do it now. You could be dead tomorrow. I'm sorry. You could get the medical test today that says you have 1 month to live. What do? You could get the doctor looking at you saying, now, right now, whatever it is, the rug could get pulled out from underneath you. You are not promised. Your life is leased. That's why I'm here today. For no other reason. To tell you that. I am proof. So every day I fight. And when the people that know me and love me and have worked with me, they see me get passionate. They know why. And they know all my other defining moments and stories of craziness that I've lived because of the fight in me. That's not my only fight. I've had so many others because I decided to go for my dream. It woke me up. I had to live alive. I had to face some giants. Oh my God, I had to keep going. What was I having to sacrifice in order to get to the next step? And then you know what? I lived my dream. I wanted to own a gym. I did it. Woohoo! Oh shit, what's next after that? Some of you are stuck in a dream that you no longer even want to be in. It was your dream and you did it. Yay, you! Hell yeah, badass. Gotta know when to let go. I held on and held on and held on way past what I was supposed to till I was underwater in shallow water. All I had to do was stand up and move to the next calling on my life. That was just the first one. That's the next one for me. I want to write since I was a little girl, best-selling book. Steve may want to speak on every stage internationally. I want to be a best-selling author of 7 books. I don't know why, but that is what God has put in me. You got something, get specific. Narrow it down. So what is your promise? Because it ain't going to happen. I love this. This is from my gym from a long time ago. Dreams don't work unless you do. Somebody bought me that sign. Dreams don't work unless you do. I got 5 minutes. He loves me. Q&A. I'm gonna leave. So if we got a few minutes, if y'all have questions for me, I'm opening up 1 second. But I want to give you a teaser for tomorrow because, like we said, some of y'all be like, I don't want to go tomorrow. Anybody like that with church and the gym, right? I don't want to go to church today. Don't lie. I'm just gonna watch it online. I'll walk and listen to Stephen Furtick and do a sermon on elevation worship. I don't need to go to my church because he won't miss me. Yes, he will. You sit in the second row, Robyn. He will know when you're not there. Then you get a text from your pastor and his pastor's wife. But when you leave church, you feel what?
Alive.
So you're glad you went, right?
Oh yeah.
You go to the gym, you're glad you went. Don't answer that, some of y'all. Just like here, so show up tomorrow. Don't be playing hooky. All right? Because tomorrow, we're going to go through some of my guiding principles. All right? Physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. This, living alive, living relentless, this is what I'm about. This is what I want you to be about. How to be unstoppable for your future, whatever that is for you. 135 days from now, how are you going to do it? How are you going to live alive? Those are my guiding principles, some of them. And you know how I learned these? Through messing up and messing up and messing up and yelling at people and through my gym and through my trials and through facing myself in the mirror. The ugly self, through the pain. So we're going to learn these tomorrow. We're going to go through them. We're going to have some fun. All right? That sound exciting?
Yep.
Think you can handle me for another hour and 15 minutes in the morning? All right? We're going to face our giants, all right? We're going to show up ugly. We're going to recommit daily with intensity. I'm going to teach you, this is what my English people, an oxymoron, right? Urgent and patient endurance. Is that what that's called, right? Oh, when y'all read my book, I write like I speak too. So if you want to correct my grammar or a period or whatever, you're talking to the wrong person. I don't care. I write for the content. I do not care if there is a period or a misspelling. There probably will be. It's the content that matters. It's the content. You're missing the point when you're always pointing out the problem. You're always pointing out the problem. You're always looking at the pain. Quit looking at the problem. Look for the solution. Look for the content. Look for the value. Look for the takeaway. What am I getting from this? You've got to do it urgently, but you have to do it with patience. I didn't get around the block on my walker this fast. I was patient, but I was urgent because I did it every day. And then it got to be this. And then it got to be one day, my kid saying, "Mommy, you're going really fast today." It was patient, but it was urgent, and it was enduring. Patient, urgent, enduring. So we're going to learn all that tomorrow with me. I'm going to teach you the how and the guiding. So if you never see me again, you're going to know what those mean. If you don't coach with me, you're going to know what those mean. You're going to walk away tomorrow, not motivated, not inspired. You're going to have the how. And I got a bunch more of that with, just ask those guys back there. I'm full of it. But I got a few minutes. How are we feeling?
Great.
Yes? I kind of have to leave you. Do we have questions? Yes, go for it.
So, besides the, thank you. Besides the physical limitations you had while you were recovering, was there something mentally or emotionally that was like a big obstacle for you to overcome during that process?
It's a great question. I thought you were going to be like, what was driving you? I'm like, that's easy, my kids. The I couldn't anymore. I was stuck in my old story. I was a rock star at my gym. I was hanging upside down on the monkey bars, doing pull-ups and push-ups all at the same time. I was stuck in that. I used to be able to do this, and I couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't run, I couldn't lift, I couldn't, beyond physically, so my head, mentally and emotionally, I was crying over the old life. I was grieving, and that was a really hard place for me to be, that I was no longer that person, and I was never going to be her again. And I'll be honest, I still fight that today. It's still a struggle of I will never be that again. But then I remember I wasn't really being real because I was living a lie. And I was using the exercise to escape, to hide. But yeah, they used to be. I was stuck in my old story. I got 3 minutes. Yes, I do. Yeah, I do, because it's me. I got 3 minutes. That was my buzzer. Go. I haven't even taught them the baby dance and the Robyn dance yet, but we're going to say that for tomorrow. Can I do 3 minutes, Rob? No? Okay. Go, yes.
What was your definitive come to Jesus moment? Where you actually came to Jesus?
Oh, well, that's a whole nother hour and a half. I'll tell you in a nutshell. It wasn't until 2 years later, and Chantel, yes? It was the worst relationship of my life, the most abusive relationship of my life, and probably one of the best relationships of my life, invited me to church. And that very first day, God had already been on me. And the Holy Spirit had a hold of me, and I was walking down the aisle to the altar at the little white Southern Baptist church in Georgia, backwoods roads, country roads, and I was on my knees, and my pastor was on his belly, and it was an out-of-body experience. I didn't pick God, I didn't pick Jesus, he picked me. I didn't choose it. He was on me in that hospital. I fought him like the devil. I did so many things. Maybe I'll share some of them with you tomorrow. I'll just have to come back. So I didn't have a coming to Jesus moment. He came in me. I'm a relationship person with God. I got to work on my Bible studies, but I live by the Spirit in a relationship and in communication. So Amen. It's a great question. One more, and then Steve's giving me dirty eyes. Anybody else? Did I wake anybody up? Is anybody excited? Huh? Do you feel like you got some kind of a fight in Take it away.
Put your hands
Robyn.
together for Robyn, everyone. Thank you. Amazing, amazing. All right.